Okay, so before I start this video, let me just start by saying that I love names. I love to talk about names. I love to make up names. I love names. So it took me forever to choose my daughter and my son's name just because I kept changing it so many times throughout the pregnancy because I just loved the newness of the name and how beautiful something sounded. So without further ado, I am going to jump into my top 10 favorite names for boys and girls. I don't know a lot about the history of the name or what the name means. If you guys want, you can always check that out on Google. I just wanted to do a video on what my favorite ones were. So for the girls, the top first name I have for baby girl is Esme. And Esme is a beautiful name. I love the way it sounds. It has May in it. I always thought May is a beautiful month, and I love the sound of it. So Esme is very beautiful. I know that there was a singer named Esme Denters, and is a singer still, but I think maybe I got the name from her, and I just think it's beautiful sounding. Yes, and the next name is Hanali. Hanali, I really love the name. Charlie. I love the name Hanali just because it sounds just so exotic and so it's just very different sounding. And I know that it's actually the name of the land from Puff the Magic Dragon, I believe. That's about all I know about it. The last name I have on my list is Madeline. And I love the name Madeline just because of how you can have so much substance in it. You can call her Maddie for sure, or the whole name Madeline. There's just a lot of nicknames you can call her, Madeline, Dell. It's just beautiful sounding, and it sounds classic, like it wouldn't go out of trend anytime soon. So that's why I love that. The next name I have is Meredith. Meredith is just a very classic name. It sounds very beautiful. It's, again, something that you don't really hear that often on a little girl. I don't know any little girls named Meredith. It's very, very pretty and different. And you can call her Mary for short. So, yeah. Number 5 on my list is Ariel. And I think I've loved this name since I've probably been 4 years old and I saw The Little Mermaid. I almost named Scarlett this name. Actually, right before she was born, her name was going to be Ariel up until probably a week before she was born. We changed it to Scarlett. But I love this name. It's so beautiful. Even the way it's written is so pretty. Ariel, you could call her Elle for short, or Ari. It's just so, I love it. I know. I say every name is beautiful, but it's just a nice name. The next name I have on my list for number 6 is Kofi. And Kofi is very different. It's, if you didn't want to go with the name Phoebe or something that's a little more trendy, I think that this would be a great name for being trendy. And I'm sure at some point it's probably going to be picking up as far as popularity goes. I don't know any Kofis right now. I just think it's really cool sounding. The next name I have is Jane. I love this name because I always think of Jane Eyre. And if you guys are into literature, you know who that is. I think it's gorgeous and it's simple. It's beautiful. I don't think of Jane as being a plain name. I think it's very, it's so classic and simple too at the same time, where you could just call her Janie or Jane. And I wanted to name Scarlett this name originally, and my husband was like, no, we're not going with that name. We want to, him and I are very different on our opinions with names. He likes names that are very exotic, and I'm just like, I like simple classic, I guess. The next name I have is Scarlett, and yes, that is my daughter's name. I love this name because it's just, it has a lot of, it sounds very similar to like a classic name, but it's got more trend in it, I think. Obviously, a lot of people would always ask me, oh, did you name her after Gone with the Wind, Scarlett O'Hara? And I'm like, no, or Scarlett Johansson. I'm like, no, I didn't. I just liked the name. I saw it online, and that was kind of what I chose, just based on um, the way it was written. I think that's what really drew me. I spell hers Scarlett. I know some people spell with an E at the end, but yeah. And the next name for number 9 is Maxine. I love the name Max. Just for a boy even, but the name Maxine for a girl, you don't hear it a lot, and you could call her Max. I just think that's a really cool sounding name. I love M names too. I have like 3 M names on this list, and it's just so pretty. The next name, number 10, is Penelope, and I love Penelope. I know some people, they don't like this name just because it's too long, or they think that it's it's getting too trendy. I think it's gorgeous. It's got a lot of substance in it, and you could call her Penny for short, or just the way it sounds when it flows off your tongue, Penelope. It's so pretty. I love this name. If I were to have another girl, the 2 names that I like the most, and it's really hard for me to choose 2, but the first one I'm definitely considering is Esme. I love that name. I think it goes very well with Scarlett, Charles, and Esme, and I think that it's a very pretty name. So yeah, Esme. Or I'm thinking Kofi. Who knows though? Kofi's very different. I think it's a very gorgeous name though. And yeah. Oh, for a middle name too, if I had a girl, it would be either Kofi Hanali or it would be Esme Hanali. I just think I love Hanali as a middle name. I've always known that my next kid is most likely going to have the middle name Hanali if it was a girl. However, I don't know anyone that has a girl, boy, girl. And Jim's grandma actually had predicted that I wouldn't have any more girls. I don't know. Is that a thing? Once you have does anyone have a girl, a boy, and then a girl? Because I don't know. I don't personally know anybody except for, I think, the royal. Okay, so on to the boy names. The first boy name I have that is just such a different sounding name, but it's also, I think, more of a classic name and has a lot of substance, is Harrison. Harrison's a great name. I think you could shorten it to Harry. And I think it's becoming a more trendy name in the States versus out in the UK. I know it's still probably very widely popular out in the UK, but it's definitely picking up popularity out here as well. So I like that name. The next one is Jack. I love the name Jack. I love how it's just so simple, but it's such a cute name on a boy. I can just totally see a little boy named Jack running around if I had a son, and it's such a cute name. Number 3 is James. I love the name James, and this is my husband's name, and he will not allow me to name a son after him because he believes that every single person should have a different name. He doesn't want a baby to be named the same name as him, so whatever. But I think this name is great. It's so classic. It has a lot of substance, even though it's such a short name too. You could call him Jamie, Jim. Obviously, that's what my husband goes by. It's awesome. Number 4 is Christopher. Christopher is a great name. I love names that can be shortened, especially on guys. They just seem like when you can shorten a name, I feel like it gives you more variety, which is nice. So you call him Chris, or I don't know, maybe you call him something else. I don't know if I guess Chris is it actually, but it's a cool name. It sounds nice. Number 5 is Benjamin. Benjamin is a great name. I always think of Benjamin Button or Benjamin Franklin. I love it. You call him Ben, and it just has a manly sound to it, but at the same time, the full name is just so nice when it flows off your tongue. Benjamin. I love the way it sounds. Yeah. Number 6 is Cove. I almost named Charlie this name, and my husband and I, Jim and I went back and forth forever, naming Charlie this or not. And well, Charlie's name story is like a whole different story, so I'm not going to get into that. But Cove was a big contender for being his name, and we just decided we wanted to go with something a little more classic in the end, or of the pregnancy. So yeah, but I think it's a great name, especially if you lived off an island or you wanted something that sounded more related to water. Cove would be a great name. The next name I have is number 7. Oh, 5, 6. Number 7 is Owen. Now, Owen's name was also a very large contender for Charlie. Before he was born, we were actually planning on naming him Owen Cove or Cove Owen, but we weren't sure. I think Owen's a great name. I love how it's got the when sound in it. I don't know, something about Owen. I love the way it flows out. I love the spelling of it. It just seems very nice. And the only thing I don't like about this name is that there's a lot of boys named Owen that I know of, and I don't think if you wanted something that was going to be very unique to go with this name, just because it is very, very popular. Number 8 is Lucas. Lucas is another name that I almost named Charlie. Like I said, I changed names a lot in my pregnancy, but I love this name just because it's got the sound Luke in it. I love the name Luke. You could even call Luke as a nickname. Lucas is very very different. You don't hear a lot of little boys with that name. However, I do think it's picking up in popularity because I do know of actually 2 or 3 now named with that name that were recently born. The next name I have is Atticus. Atticus is a great name. I think that it's different sounding. I love, again, the way it flows off the tongue. Atticus, I love how it's spelled, how it's got the word attic in it. It just seems really different, and you just don't see this name a lot. And I know it comes from literature, and I am having a hard time remembering the book. So I don't know if, I know this book. I know it's in one of the literature books, and I can't remember. Oh, I'm going to remember as soon as I'm done making this video. On to number 10. And the last name I have is my son's name. That is Charles. I love the name Charles. It's such a great classic name. It's it sounds like royalty to me. I mean, because Prince Charles. I guess that's not the, it's a good name. And I don't really call him Charles though. His nickname is Charlie, and that's what he goes by. Yeah, it's great name. You call him Chucky if you wanted to. I'm not sure how many people feel about that. I always think of the murdering doll whenever I think of Chucky. But Charlie, Charles, great names. Yeah. Oh my goodness, did I just finish making my first baby name video? I'm so happy. Yay, I finally did it. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. I hope you're having a great night. And yeah, bye.